Okay, so today I'm going to explain you about recursion as simply as possible and how it basically works. So I'm just going to give you a nutshell explanation. I'm not going to talk about stacks, first in, last out, and then push, pull, and all the stuffs. I'm just going to give you a logical workflow on how a recursion function is understandable. So before this, let's actually understand the structure of a recursion function. The purpose of this function is going to find factorials. Now, you don't need to actually understand how factorials work, what are factorials. I'm pretty sure you already know it, but this tutorial is not going to be focused on how factorials work. I'm going to teach you how recursion works. So let's just forget about this factorial and all stuff, so that's easier for you to understand. So right here we have if not if n is equals to 1, return n. Basically the n is the number we give it, the argument. So this is called the base case. So the base case is basically the limit of our recursion. So but because if we don't really give the base case, it's going to like call itself again and again and again, and it's going to give you a stack overflow error. So we need a base case as for it to act as a limit. So now the base case is done, we are going to talk about the recursive case. So it's n into fact n minus 1. So you can see that the value is basically calling itself. Say that n is equals to 4, just an example. So what is this going to return? So basically, so therefore it's going to be basic. So if you write in the program, it's going to be fact 4, right? So what is this going to give us? Well, n is not equals to 1, so it's not going to be, so it didn't hit the base case. So it's going to give us this, n into fact n minus 1. So the value of this is going to be 4 into fact 3. So it basically gave us a function again. So let's actually forget about what this thing is. What would this actually give us? Well, now n is 3, right? N is not equals to 1, so it didn't hit the base case. So it's going to return this again, right? Yes. So it's going to be n, which is now 3, and then fact 2, since you know 3 minus 1 is 2. And now this is our new return value. Let's actually again forget about this into stuffs. We are focusing on the functions. After this, what would fact 2 give us? It's n is not 1, it didn't hit the base case, so it's going to again return us 2 fact 1. I hope this workflow is understandable for you. We are not really focusing on these numbers. We're just going inside functions and functions and functions. You can think it like that. So now we have finally hit the base case because n right now is equals to 1. So return n. It's going to return the value itself. Therefore, fact 1 is fact. Okay. So therefore, fact 1 is equals to 1. So fact 1 gives us the value. So like now we have to understand this function gives us this value. So this function is going to be this value logically. So fact 1 therefore is going to be 1, right? So what is 2 into 1 now? It is 2. So now we understand that fact 2 gives us the value 2. So this is going to be 2. Therefore, fact 2 is equals to 2. Now this is going to give us 6 because 3 into 2 is 6. Fact 3, this function returns 6. Therefore, we can write it as 6. Now 4 into 6 gives us 24. And finally, we can now say that this fact 4 is equals to 24. This gives us 24.